Welcome back to the second part of our session today. And let's check the workbook. Complete the conversations with some or any. What do you want for dinner? The answer, let's make some. Why some? Because it's affirmative. Yes. What does it mean affirmative? Not negative. What doesn't mean negative? Means it has not. And it's not question. It's just a statement like this. Like, good idea. Do we have meat? Any? Why any? Sorry. Because question. Well, we have beef. any يقول لي ليه؟ Why any؟ ثانية بس، يمكن هو عنده وجهة نظر مش عارفينها. ها؟ Why any? Is it negative? With not? طيب is it question? So it's just like some. واحنا لازم برضه نقتنع بإجابتنا خلاص؟ طيب. But I don't want. Yeah, why any? Because not. Nice. طيب. Meat in the sauce. Let's get potatoes. Sorry, tomatoes. Why some? Affirmative, yes. طيب. Okay. Do we need greens? Why any? Yes, question. We mean green peppers for the sauce. Yeah, let's get peppers. So some, because affirmative, as Amr said. Yes. Next. Oh, and garlic too. Why? Yes. Because affirmative. Type. Great. We have spaghetti. Why some? Yeah, affirmative. So we don't need pasta. Yeah. Why any? Negative. Not. Yes. Next. Yeah. But let's get bread. Some, because affirmative. And cheese. Some or any. Why? طب يبقى ايه؟ بترد على نفسك؟ يبقى some. Some. Okay. Go to the next. Number 2. What do you eat for breakfast? Well, first I have fruit, grapes, or strawberries. Yeah, because affirmative. Nice. That sounds good. Do you have eggs or bacon? Yes, because question. No, I don't eat. Why any? Negative. How do you know? Because not eggs or meat in the morning. Okay. Next. Really? Do you have anything else? Well, usually have. Why some? Affirmative. But I don't use. Why? Butter. Because what? Because not. Negative. Do you drink anything in the morning? I always have. Why some? Affirmative. But I don't put any sugar. But I like. Why some? Affirmative. وكده انتهى النص الأول من الدرس. نروح للنص الثاني. Exercise number 6. Page part A تحديدا، مش عايز part B. Page 53. طيب واللي عايز يفهمه أكتر، أقصد أقول يفهم الدرس أكتر، يروح لستودنتس بوك exercise 7 page 61. عيشوا اللحظة. عندنا 61 exercise 7 students book الشرح والتوضيح ل workbook page sorry which page 53 part A. عيشوا اللحظة قدامكم 5 دقايق بالظبط تتعاملوا بين الصفحتين. جو turn on the lights. افتح كله. Have you finished or not yet? Not yet? Okay. Take your time. 4 more minutes. Two minutes. Less than 1 minute. Time. Joe. Nice. So we call these adverbs of frequency. And adverbs of frequency means words to show us the percentage or the repetition of actions. In other words, let's say if you visit your grandparents every weekend, means that you always visit them, right? Good. And your grandparents' house is in the same city. You live in the Dammam, they live in the Dammam. And you visit them every weekend, means you always visit them, okay? They live in Riyadh. They live in Riyadh. And you visit them every weekend. So it means also that you always visit them. Okay? Nice. But they live in Dammam, and you live in Dammam. And you visit them once a month. One time every month. Is this always? He said, no, it's not always. It can be what? It can be sometimes. Huh? Why? They live in the same city. You live in Dammam, they live in Dammam. But you don't visit them every weekend. You visit them every month. This is short time or long time? Long time, huh? And they are in the same city. So it's not always. It's what? It's just like sometimes. Huh? They live in the same city and you visit them once a year. In the whole year you visit them one time. So it means that this is always? Always? One time in the year?
No.
Often? Usually?
Never.
Sometimes? Just like, this is like never. We can say hardly ever. Rarely. It's like never, huh? They are in Jeddah, and you are here in Dammam, and you visit them once a year. Once a year. You are in Dammam, they are in Jeddah.
Yes.
This is like what? Like always. Why? Big distance, huh? Not easy to go every week. Not easy to go even every month, huh? So that's it. Because that's the percentage or the repetition of action. ده من ناحية نفهم هم ايه اصلا الادverbs of frequency. خلاص؟ مش هشرح اكتر من كده لانه في المستويات الاعلى لها تفصيل اكتر. خلاص؟ لكن خلينا هنا ما يخصنا هو انه all the time you will find that the adjective of frequency is between the subject and the verb. تحديدا it's before the verb. Subject adverb of frequency verb. طيب واذا كان في فواصل بينهم وبين بعض يهمني دايما it's before the verb. تعالوا نطبق عملي. Some people in Korea eat pickled vegetables for breakfast. مين السبجكت؟ يا ابن الذين امنوا صراحه. مين السبجكت؟ Somewhat. Some people. That's the subject. فين الverb؟ فين الverb؟ eat. ايه ده؟ طب انا احط فين always؟ لما في in Korea في النص. ما هو between موجود in وكوريا، يعني في 1 2 3 betweens مش between واحده. حطها فين يا جو؟ Why? Because it's always before the verb. دايما قلت لكم it's always before the verb. Direct. طيب ناخد اللي بعدها. In China, people put sugar in their tea. What's the subject? People. What's the verb? Put. What about seldom? Between. عشان نستعد أكتر نقول before put. يكون أفضل كده. طيب. In England, people put milk in their tea. What's the subject? What's the verb? What about usually? Between. Exactly. Before put. Put before put. جميل. طيب. Nice. ده من تأثير عدم الغداء قبل ما تيجي، صح؟ ما اتغديتش. ارجع اعترف، الانكار مش هينفعك. ما اتغديتش يا جو، صح؟ يبقى على طول احنا بنقول before the verb. Just before the verb. طيب هنسيب number 5 دلوقتي. Number 6. Brazilians make drinks with fruit. What's the subject? Brazilians. What's the verb? Make. So what about often? Before make. Between صح. لكن انا اتفقت انه between زي number 2. Between زي بقى. But before the verb. Before the verb. Not the same. If you say it's between. طيب هنعمل ايه في in Korea؟ نصرف فيها ازاي؟ يبقى دايما نقول it's between the subject and the verb. Before the verb. إذا ما قلناش before the verb هنلبس في الحيط زي ما كنا هنلبس من شوية في number 2. Okay? In Canada, people have salad for breakfast. What's the subject? What's the verb? Where about hardly ever? Before have. طيب. Some Mexicans eat pasta. Use ever. Some Mexicans. That's the subject. What's the verb? Where about never? Before eat. نيجي بقى ل sometimes. يا ترى كان مربع ولا مدور ولا مستطيل؟ In Japan, people have fish for breakfast. What's the subject? What's the verb? What about sometimes? Sometimes before verb صح دي قاعدتنا الأصلية مفيش جديد before have مفيش جديد صح الجديد بقى it can be before the subject إيه ده إزاي يعني فأقول الجملة in Japan people sometimes have fish for breakfast ده المعتاد بتاعنا صح عشان كده نحطه بنفس اللون الأحمر مش هنغير يعني أهو نفس اللون الأحمر بتاعنا okay and sometimes can be before the subject فأقول الجملة زي بقى ساعتها الاحتمال الثاني in Japan sometimes people have fish for breakfast يبقى زيها زي الباقيين كلهم in Japan people sometimes have fish for breakfast before the verb but the exception الوحيد sometimes it can come before the subject فأقول الجملة in Japan sometimes people have fish for breakfast that's the only exception yes or الاحتمال الثاني طب ما هو ده الاحتمال انت قلته ما هو ده الاحتمال الاول انت قلته قول الاحتمال الثاني بقى اوكي صح ممتاز يبقى sometimes people or people sometimes بس خلاص خلص الدرس طب والجزء ده هوم ورك حضرتك كامل الجزء ده كده تعمل له سكرين شوت او تصوره وتحطه على المجموعه ان هو مطلوب اوكي any questions any objections yes A and B سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته